All right, guys, good morning. It is Fire Fridays, and it's also First Friday, which is one of our favorite days of the entire month, every month, all year long. So FYR Partners community, so excited to have you guys together. Happy New Year, first of all. We're already 10 days in, so it feels like it's already old news, but hopefully your New Year's are off to a great start. Have some great things going. Hopefully you had incredible holidays. And so we're glad you're here. If you're watching on video, if you're catching this up later, you weren't able to be with us, welcome, and a happy new year. And let's get this year started, guys. I don't know, is anybody feeling good about 2025? Are you feeling good about it? Yeah, there you go. Nice. Nice. There's like, I feel like there's some positivity. We're starting to see some positive news, and everyone's just kind of feeling. Before it was like, even if something good happened, it was like this happened, but it's probably not going to last. And I feel like this year, even when it's like, rates are still climbing, but we still feel like the housing, there's going to sell more houses this, you know what I mean? It's like now there's always like a positive but added to the end of it. Like it's still going to be good. So I just feel like there's some enthusiasm. There is a sense that this year's market is going to be stronger. And guys, how many of you were in business in 2024? Right? Okay. You made it through the worst market in 30 years. 30 years. If you're still standing, congratulations. Everybody pat themselves on the back, right? Worst market in 30 years. And it's one of those things where you go, all right, I might not want to do that again, but it wasn't that bad, right? We're all right. Anybody sell some houses last year? Right? Yeah, right on. Right on. Hey, by the way, if you sold a house last year, you're in like the top, you know, I don't know, 20% of realtors right now. So it's a lot of people didn't sell any houses last year, right? How crazy is that? A lot of agents got out of the business. A lot of people didn't sell. If you look at the number, more than half of agents in the industry didn't sell a single home. Okay. So if you sold one, you're at least in the top half of the entire industry, right? That's just selling one. So that already gets you up there. That just gives you an idea of what you went through. So if it felt tough, it was tough. But here's the great news. I haven't heard one single report, one single expert, one single person looking into it who has said that they felt this year was going to be the same or worse than last year. Right? Every single person says we hit the bottom. We dragged along it for a while. It felt like maybe you were tied to the back of a pickup truck and dragged along the gravel road, right? But everyone's saying this year things are going to be picking up. Things are going to be moving. There's lots of other factors out there and that kind of stuff. So we've got that's positive news. So here's the thing. I always talk in terms of the wave, right? Anybody like to surf? You're out there on the wave. There you go, the Rick, right? If you're out there, okay, and you're watching,
Yeah.
you don't start moving
Oh.
when the wave's there, right? You position yourself in the right place, and then you're looking for the swell, you're looking for the sets, right? And when you start to see it move, you start to see it's mounding up in the distance. All it looks like is like the horizon gets a little smaller, right? Because it's starting to heave a little bit. That's all but you learn to spot that, and you learn to see that starting to move up a little bit. And then what do you do when you see that? What do you do? Yeah, there you go. You start paddling. You start paddling. When you start to see that move, you start paddling. Okay. And you got to paddle your guts out. You can't be like a little bit here, look back, a little bit here, look back. You got to turn and burn, baby. You got to go for it. Right.
And
You
you look forward, Dave. You can't look back. You look forward where you're trying to get to.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Because you can't put all of your effort and energy into paddling if you're going back like this. The body mechanics don't work that way. Right. So you're looking forward, you're looking where you're going, you're starting to aim. Okay. You're starting to aim where you want to go. And you're going to paddle. You go, okay, the waves are moving in this direction. That's the way I need to aim. And then you're going to paddle like crazy. So when that wave hits, you already have that motion. You're already out in front of it, and it's going to push you along. So if we know that there is movement, I can tell you there's a whole bunch of people, independent contractors and agents especially, tend to be deer in the headlights, and they're slow to move. When the market slows down, people don't pivot. I watch it all the time. It's I'll say the business of real estate, the road, excuse me, of the real estate industry is full of flat squirrels, right? That didn't make a decision, that didn't make a move, and they got run over by whatever was coming, right? And so we're slow to move when the market slows down to make decisions to change. Is that when, who moved my cheese? We keep going back to the same spot and hoping that the cheese is going to be there again, right? But when the market starts to pick back up again, we're also tend to be slow to move and don't get out in front of it. There's opportunity. So the ones that are moving early and moving fast are the ones that are going to catch the opportunity. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in a little bit today. I'll share with you guys some things that I've learned and some things that I can share with you today on that. And we'll have some fun, but I'm going to get us into celebrating and all of that kind of stuff. But before we, let me share this right here. See if we got this. Here we go. All right. Can we see it? Cool. All right. So I've got you guys all, I can still see all your faces, and I think you can change your view and put, go to gallery and that kind of stuff. So you can still people on there and that kind of stuff. Hopefully we will stay interactive on this, and we'll get going. I don't think we have any guests on today. Do we have anybody who's in here as a guest? I don't see any guest names on here. All right, cool. Guests are always welcome, by the way, guys. So if you have some people that want to check us out and they want to hang out with us and that kind of stuff like that, you are welcome to bring agents from other companies and have them come hang with us. And, if they don't want to really be, they can turn their camera off. If they just want to come and hang out and listen and not be seen, they can change the name, right? So no one knows that they were here if they want to be incognito. Or if they want to really be a part of it. So you just kind of find out when they want to be guests and then shoot us a message and say, hey, I've got a guest coming on. Do not mention them. They're coming in on secret, or, they're really interested and they'd love to chat. Excuse me. All right. So, unfortunately, we're going to start off with a little bit of, just a more of a down note, but Chip would not, if you knew Chip, he would be very annoyed with us if we, if we spent a lot of time boohooing about him, as much as we miss him. Chip was a good friend of ours for about 20 years. Knew him back when he was at Long and Foster. His mom, Mary Jane, who we lost a number of years ago. He was just a phenomenal human being. A lot of you have put stuff out there about how much he's helped you. He was one of the first members of the fire group. He was one of the first people to jump on board and come over. He said, hey, what are you doing? Great. I want to go with you. He was that kind of guy, always out looking for, great opportunity and to bring other people with him. He helped us launch in Maine. So if you're in Maine, you're in Maine because of Chip. That's how we got with EXP. So he helped us open the door into Maine. It's become one of our largest markets for the fire group up there. We have a bunch of phenomenal agents, icon agents, big teams, producers, some great people that are up there. And those all came through Chip's connections. Chip was a lover of animals. He, if you followed him on Facebook at all, he was a big biker. He loved to do his road biking, get out there and go biking. And he'd always post pictures of him picking up snakes off the road, little baby snakes and chipmunks and hurt birds. And I mean, he was just a big animal lover, and he was always helping him out and saving, posting pictures of stuff. But just, he collected fancy watches and fancy cars, and he did a lot of network marketing. He was good friends with Brian Carruthers. And he built several really massively successful businesses that made him millions of dollars a year, in all different kinds of groups and companies and stuff. But he brought a lot of other people with him. He'd give you the shirt off his back. Just a fun guy. So Chip, as healthy as he was out biking like every single day. I'm going to mute that. He was out, he'd go out biking every single day. And even up to, he went into the doctor, he's just feeling lethargic, and they told him his heart was failing, and that he needed a heart transplant. Right. Imagine you're out there like biking like crazy and everything else. You need a heart transplant. So he came up, excuse me, he came up here, actually up to Westchester. We were still up there not too long ago, right before, and hung out with us. And, I couldn't believe he was, weeks away from getting a heart transplant, and he's out driving around, walking around, doing whatever. But just a phenomenal guy. Got the heart transplant. It was successful. And he probably just went and back and did too much, but he actually drove around and visited the family of that contributed, whose family member contributed the heart that he got. And he wanted to thank them and show them and all that other kind of stuff. And during that process, he actually got sick because his immune system was down. And that's eventually what happened. But wonderful guy. So just remembering Chip, grateful for him, grateful for all the great memories we have and everything he's done. So some of you knew him. Want to make sure everybody knew about that. But in the spring, they're going to do a memorial like bike ride, charity bike ride, raise money for charity, and do a ceremony and all that kind of stuff like that. So I'll let you know when I get that information. But phenomenal human being. All right. Birthdays. We celebrated a birthday in this house. We're still celebrating. If you guys know, we celebrate Kristen's birthday all month long. But we have a bunch of birthdays this year. Kristen, you want to, I think I got the mic on, so I think everybody can hear you.
You guys hear me? All right, so my favorite part. All right, so we've already celebrated Ginger Hall, Nicole White, Tina Burkhart. Rory, please wish her a happy birthday for us. And of course, just Wednesday, Craig and myself. Yesterday was Mara Grady's birthday. And then upcoming, we've got TG Roberts, Kim Niles, Mark Owens, Alex Group, Lana Wells, and Melinda Morena, Damian La Rochelle, Kim Dilly, and Elisa Soto. So I don't know many of you who are on the call today, but if you're listening, we wish you a happy birthday, and I hope you've already started celebrating.
Yeah, happy birthday, guys. Take a page out of Kristen's book and make sure you get a whole month out of it. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with that. Awesome. Good deal. You want to do new members?
Sure.
All right.
I will start with Nancy because I believe I see you on here. So Nancy is a new agent of ours. We're on by Cindy. I don't know if Cindy's on here, but I know that Lars is. So I want to welcome Nancy in Virginia. Nancy, you want to say hi? Can you say hi?
Just got to find the unmute button.
Sorry.
On there somewhere.
No, not yet.
There we go. Okay.
Hey.
That was a challenge. Hi, I'm excited to be at EXP. I'll start with that. I joined on Monday, so it's been like, fire hose, which is good. Got through all the training. I think all my marketing material, everything's changed. I think I got it all done.
Nice.
Yeah, and lots to review over the weekend of what I missed. But a little bit about me. This is my 21st year in residential real estate. Prior to that, I was in corporate as an engineer in various disciplines, nuclear power, high volume manufacturing, telecom, corporate real estate around the world. And I like to bike. I like to go to concerts. I like to play my guitar.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to really just deep diving into this and building my downline.
Awesome.
Here.
We got more musicians, man. I'm telling you, we're gonna have the FYR Partners band coming up soon. We got a lot of musicians in the group now. Love it. Love it. Well, welcome.
Listen, Nancy, we're super glad you're here, and hopefully we get to meet you in person sometime soon because you're not too far away. So all right, so we also have Slav brought in by Lars, also in Virginia. Devin Curtis, who's in PA, brought in by Esther. Michael Freeman, brought in by
Fishman.
Lana. What?
Fishman.
Oh, Michael Fishman. What did I say?
Freeman.
Oh, Michael Fishman.
Him too. Michael Freeman. We're glad he's here.
Brought in by Lana, and then Damian La Rochelle, all the way up in Maine. Hopefully he's not frozen up there. Brought in by Carrie Davis. So if you're not on the call, welcome, and if you're listening, we are glad you're with us.
Love it. Love it when the group grows, guys. This is all the cool stuff that we get to do and the things we get to learn from each other just get stronger and bigger every time we add new great people to the group. So super exciting. Oh, new achievements. These are so fun, guys. We love this. We love cheering you on. That's part of the reason we want to get together and do this publicly. You can send stuff out and do whatever, but especially for those of you that are newer to the group, you know, we get a chance to get together and do this once a month, but just understand that this group is, and we talk about the FYR Partners community, we are partners and we are a community. So we cheer each other on, we celebrate each other's successes, we take care of each other during difficult times. And you know, we pour into each other, help each other succeed, share ideas. This is your group, guys. You have questions, you want ideas, you're trying to build, you're like, hey, I'd love to break into this part, or I'm struggling with this or whatever. This is the group that you get to go to and ask questions, get ideas, bounce ideas off each other, support each other, send referrals, all that fun stuff. So we celebrate, you know, whether it's your first transaction ever or your first transaction once you move over and you got through, like, all right, changing companies is, like Nancy was just saying, right? Just going through, like, all right, I got all my marketing change. I gotta learn new processes and systems. And, you know, it's a little bit daunting at first, but you get through it and then your business is cranking and you get that first one under your belt at the company. And it's like, you know, once you get that, now you're off to the races. So we like to celebrate your first transaction with EXP. And we're super pumped. Chase Clark, hopefully Chase will be watching this on video. He's been working so hard. And he's a phenomenal human, and he is the nephew of a really dear friend of ours. So we're excited to see him get his business crank and everything else. So congrats to Chase, and then Lisa Carlisle also with her first transaction with EXP. So congrats to both of you guys. What's the other one?
What, the highest price?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So listen, so Kyle Lounsbury is a very dear friend of ours. He is on the call today. And Kyle just had his highest price ever with EXP. So we are super excited for Kyle. And I wish I could announce it, but I can't. But that actually is going to allow Kyle to hopefully be 100% capped very shortly. And he will, and he'll have achieved that like in just like 3 short months. So Kyle, we are super excited for you, and super excited for your 2025. And then we also
Hold on real quick, if you don't mind. Kyle, what's your anniversary date?
November 1.
November. You got a lot of months at 100%, brother. Make hay while the sun shines. Get in there and do it.
It's going to be fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're pumped for you, man. Make that 100% dollar.
And we also have Carol Quattrocini, I believe. She's in Delaware, and so Carol. So what I will say is I don't like EXP. Their notifications were down all of this week, so I don't have all of the information for anybody. So I don't have all the stats. So if for some reason we missed something, we should be celebrating you. Please let us know. But it's always super exciting when you guys have a closing, whether it's your first closing, your highest closing, the closing that has you cap or icon. We just want to celebrate you and all of your production.
Yep. Carol Quattrocini.
Oh,
Leave it to the French person to you know, translate the Italian for the Italian person. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, so excited, guys. We love this. It's you know, go out there and get the big ones. It's fun. That is fun. All right. And so we've got some of you that are climbing up the ranks already. Check this out, month to date, right? So in Delaware, Kyle, climbing it, baby. Number 1 in the state of Delaware right now. So he's going to be scrapping and elbowing to keep the number 1 position. Love it. Carol is at number 9. Alex is at number 14, and Jessica at number 16 in the state of Delaware. So we love having top producers in the state in our group. Very cool. Pennsylvania, Lisa. Woohoo! Lisa's been killing it. We've been watching this bam. So Lisa's at number 7 in the state of Pennsylvania, and Patty at 15, and Carrie at 20. And you guys are all in a group together too. I mean, not in a sales group, but in a you guys are partners in the FYR Partners community. So it's exciting to watch you guys killing it. Off to a great start for 2025. Lisa, congrats.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, what's you've been having a ton of stuff going on and really, you know, had a ton of business. We've seen a ton going through. What are you seeing out there?
It's funny because when you mentioned earlier that this was the worst year, this past year was my best. I have no idea, but honestly, good referrals.
Yeah, that's great.
Not drinking.
Not drinking. That's what it is. I love it. There you go. Very cool. Well, congrats. And then in Virginia, Dan Hamlin, doing great. and coming in at number 25 in Virginia. So super excited for all you guys. Keep it up. And those are our individual agents, our teams. Now it's, it's interesting. We talked about Maine, right? 3 of these teams are in Maine. We've got Brett Davis Real Estate, number 1 month to date in Maine, number 1 year to date for 20. He was number 1 in Maine for 2024. For the entire year, we have the number 1 team in Maine in our group, which is really, really awesome. So congrats to Brett Davis, and the entire team has got a really, really awesome team of incredible agents. I know Chris Cunningham is on here frequently. Do not see him on here today. And then Keith Nicely, Keith and Pam Nicely, real estate done nicely. I love that. I have one of their mugs that has that on there that we use all the time. So number 2 in Maine, check that out, right? Number 1 and number 2. And Rory Burkhart, number 6 team in Pennsylvania. Rory, you guys are on a roll now, brother. How's it feeling out there?
It's going well, man. This is we gotta have our heads down and just focusing on the business that's coming up. So, while things are quiet, this is where we focus and keep it going.
Love it. I see Sherry's on here too.
Yep.
So guys, congrats. Congrats. Great work on that. We got a lot of good agents in PA. So to be up in the top 10 is a feat. So I love it. And then we've got the Davis team and Bryce and Julie. I mean, they're newer agents and they have been working their tails off. So we're super, super thrilled for them. Number 11 year to date in the state of Maine. So congrats to them. Very, very exciting. All right. So to sum all this up, finishing up the year, we're still waiting on a few closings and stuff to go through. So the numbers could go up some, but we're looking at closing out the year with 940 transactions and just shy of $500 million in volume, right? Not too shabby, guys. Not too shabby. So that is really, really amazing to have that kind of production in this group. And 57 partners were added to our group this year. 57. So at a time when most brokerages and in general, the industry lost a ton of people and a ton of people left. We grew and we added 57 to our small but powerful group as we continue to grow, which is exciting. And we've got some big goals. We've got some big goals for next year. And we're going to start off with these, but we're working on a couple of things, and these numbers may go a little higher. We never adjust goals down. we only adjust goals up. But we set some goals that we think are aspirational, achievable, but aspirational. And then we get in and start getting some traction, and then we see how much higher we can lift these up. But our goal is always to smash the goals. But we think that we should be able to more than double what we did in every category, and quite a bit more in the partners added this year. So we should be looking at over 2,000 transactions, and we should hit the $1 billion mark for our group in production for next year, and add 300 additional partners to the group at a minimum. And we've got some bigger goals than that, but we're going to put this out there as where we want to go. So excited to see the group continue to grow. Yeah, what you got?
So I don't know how I missed this, and I'm super embarrassed because I love my birthday. I love everyone's birthday, but Pamela Kirby is on this call today, and her birthday was January 6th. So Pamela.
Oh no, Pamela! Woo-hoo.
Thank you.
How did we miss your birthday? Awesome. Well, happy birthday, Pamela. We're so stoked for you. It's good to see you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's good. It feels good to be 29 again.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. I thought you were 25.
Okay.
There you go. Well, hey, Pamela, it's going to be a great year ahead. You're going to have the best year ever.
That's it. I claim it.
There you go.
That's it,
There you go.
exactly.
Amen.
Happy
Amen.
birthday.
Amen.
Amen.
Love it. All right. So I want to share with you guys a couple of things. This next slide was actually, we were in a group with John Cheplack yesterday morning, and he shared some stuff based on his research with his top people. And I thought it was really great. And so I thought I would bring it back and share it with you guys. Oh, it's all on there. It's funny. I went through all the work of putting all the animations in there so I could click through them one at a time, but I'm not running my slideshow, so they're just all up there. So let's go with it, guys. So he actually had it in the opposite, the 10 reasons that people failed or didn't succeed in 2024. So I just changed the language around because I like to look forward and be positive about what we can do here, right? So we're going to look at it the opposite way. But he coaches some of the top producing agents and top builders in the industry, and top brokerages and that kind of stuff. And so, he is out there working with, with these folks and studying what's working and what's not working, and, and coaching them through that. So in working with them and figuring these things out, he boils down all of the data that he's collecting over the, course of the year. And then he lays it out and says, here's what the deal is. All right. So you're going to want to look at this, and may want to go back and rewatch this, write this down, whatever you got to do. But these are the top 10 things that you need to do. And if you don't do these things, they will be the opposite. They'll be the 10 reasons that you fail this year or don't achieve your goals. All right. So number one is have a target that you completely own. You got to have a goal. You have to have a target, a number, whether it's number of agents you're going to add, number of houses you're going to sell, number of listings you're going to take, right? Number of appointments you're going to go on. Okay. Whatever metrics you're using for your business, you need to have one. Don't go out there and be like, I'm just going to do as much as I can. Okay. If you need to have a very specific number, and you have to own it, right? And when you own it, it means, right, if it's to be, it's up to me. When you own it, you're like, what do I need to do? What actions do I need to take to achieve that number? And if it doesn't work, I can't be like, oh, well, the market, oh, well, this happened, and oh, that, whatever. If you own something, that means that you are taking full responsibility to achieve that and to make sure that it comes into reality, right? So have a number, put it out there, know what it is, and go after it. Okay. Number two, choose a single strategy so you don't become overwhelmed, right? A lot of people use the shotgun method, the sawed-off shotgun version, right? Just a spray and just hope it all works. A little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I tried this, it didn't work. I pivoted over here, right? If you're going to have your strategy, you're going to double down on your strategy, and you're going to go after it, and you're going to go make it work. Don't try to do too many things. Okay. You're going to have your core thing. Number three, have defined fundamental daily activities. All right. If you have the outcome that you want, right, that target that you own, the strategy that you're going to use, then what are the action steps that you're going to do on a daily basis? You get up and brush your teeth and shower every day. These should be things on your calendar, right? I used to do an exercise with my leaders, and we would go through and we would talk about what I'd have them first just going through and say, tell me the things that you consistently do every day at business level, personal level, everything else. You get up, I wake up every day, right? I shower, I brush my teeth, I drink coffee, I whatever, like, cool, go through all the things. I make calls, I do follow-up, I whatever, like, what are the things that you can say that you definitely do every day? I don't go to bed without this having happened today, every day, at least 5 days a week or working days or whatever it is like that. What are those things? Write those down, right? Then I'd have them go back and say, what are your goals for the year? What are your targets? What are the things that need to happen for you this year to be successful? Now I want you to go back to your daily habits that definitely happen every day, and how many of those directly impact that goal that you have, and will get you there. Because if you're not doing the activities that achieve your goal, it's like, oh my gosh, I do all these things, but all of those things are kind of peripheral things. The one thing that I'm aiming for this year, I don't have habits built into my day that will push me towards that goal. I do it sometimes. I do it 3 times a week, 2 times a week, when it's convenient, whatever it is, right? But what are the things? So you need to have defined daily activities. Pick that day, pick those things, and then just Xerox that every day, and make sure you've got time blocked off to do that every single day. Every day you got to move the needle forward towards your one primary goal. All right. And then, hey, we will let ourselves slide. We will make excuses. We will do whatever. We'll tell ourselves lies. I'll do it later. I'll do it twice as much of it tomorrow, whatever. You need an accountability partner. And he made a great point. You can't have your spouse be your accountability partner. I mean, they can be, but they can't be you need an accountability partner that you don't have that kind of a personal relationship with, right? So you need someone who is going to be super tough on you with no whatever, and they want you to achieve your goals, right? Accountability is a positive thing. It's not a negative thing, right? Accountability is someone wants you to achieve at the highest level, and they're not going to let you settle for less than your best. Have an accountability partner. I used to always, I always have an accountability partner. We would have something where we write a check out to an organization that you can't stand, right? And make a donation to the opposite political party, or whatever it is. Write a letter to someone that you hate, telling them how much you appreciate them and how wonderful you think they are. Okay. Then the other person gets this. They get the check. It goes in a stamped envelope. The letter goes in the envelope, goes whatever. And then if you ever fail on doing what you're supposed to do, the other person is holding it and it goes in the mail. $1,000 donation to something that you're totally against, right? A letter praising someone that you just can't stand, whatever. Make it something painful, right? So that it'll hold your toes to the fire, and then give it to them, and then they're holding on to it. All right, keep your focus on your core business. Anybody have a problem with squirrels? Okay, keep your focus on your core business. There's lots of things you can do. Okay, but what's going to move the needle for you? Where's your focus? Okay, stay focused on that core business. And then budget your expenses to match the outcome that you want. The way that he had this on the negative side was the reason they failed or didn't get the results they wanted is because they ran it like a zero expense business. Okay. So if you are spending the minimum amount on your business, meaning you don't have a structured expense system to reinvest in marketing your business and building up your business and having that structure for your business, then you're going to get out of it what you put into it. You need to put into it enough to get enough out of it. So when you close a sale, you pay yourself, but you should have your expenses built in. You should have regular marketing expenses and everything else planned in. And the bigger you want your business to grow, the bigger your budget for growing your business should be. Don't run it like a zero-based business. It's not what it is. Okay. If you want to grow it, if you want to keep it where it is, fine. All right. Continually develop leaders who can duplicate what you do so well. Okay. The best thing that you can do is work yourself out of a job. Okay. That's where you build that business and you build the point where you have freedom. But if you can't develop leaders below you or around you, then you can never leverage anything, and you're stuck doing it all yourself all the time forever. Okay. And that's not the best way to go. Okay. So be developing leaders around you who can take over things that you do, but you have to have a process. And throughout the year, again, I'll teach again my peanut butter and jelly method for writing systems. But there are ways to write great systems so that people can do what you do, but they have to, the reason most people fail when they hire an assistant is that what they have are habits and not systems, and you can't leverage a habit, right? You can only leverage a system. A system is written down, and it's written down in a way that someone can learn it, but then you also have to teach it to them. And it's I do it, we do it, you do it, right? You go through those methods. All right. Always stay focused on goodwill over money. Okay. If you are focused on getting paid, okay, it will show. You will have commission breath, and people will not want to work with you. All right. You're going to focus on the goodwill. Focus on serving others. Focus on helping other people achieve and reach their goals. Be service-minded first. The rest will all work out. You will get paid. Okay. People will want to work with you and make sure you get paid if they know that you have their best interest at heart and you're doing it to serve them, and you serve them at a high level. Number 9, be consistent. Man, this could be almost 1 through 10. Okay. It's easy to get started, right? How many, what are we? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 2 weeks after, is it quitting Friday, or what's the day? Everyone does their New Year's resolution, right? Or you know what I'm talking about? There is a day, and I can't think of but there really is a quitting day where it's like 90 whatever % of New Year's resolutions are broken by that day. Okay. we just, as humans, it's hard to be built to be consistent, to start off on something and stay with it. But those that do are the ones who win. So find ways to be consistent. That's where the accountability comes in and everything else like that. Don't base it all on motivation, right? Zig Ziglar said motivation is like showers, right? You need it daily, right? It's hard to stay motivated over a long period of time. If you're just basing it on motivation, then you're hoping that your emotions are going to drive you to always do the hard work every day or the boring work every day forever. And that's not how most of us are built. Okay. So now Nancy was an engineer, so she might be really good at putting processes in places and following them. So my grandfather was an electrical engineer and he was incredible at all of those things. Me, not so much. So I need artificial systems, artificial processes that drive me forward and don't allow me to not do it, and automate as much as you can. All right, last one. Be a marketer, not a salesperson. Okay, you are a marketer. You are a marketer. That is the one thing I've heard the most so far over the last 30, 60, 90 days from people that I've been studying, is we look at how to make our year the best year ever. And that is one of the keys, is get really good at being a marketer. Right? It's the marketing. So let's talk about that real quick. I got one more slide for you before we go into a few other things. Right? Check this out. Saw this somewhere else. Starbucks doesn't sell coffee. It sells rituals, right? Well, like if they just sold coffee, I mean, I like Starbucks coffee, but is Starbucks coffee the best? Nah, it's not. I like Starbucks coffee, but it's this, like once you go in there, right? I know that I'm going to get a triple venti non-fat latte, 2 pumps of caramel, right? It's really easy. So that, like, it's my ritual. I walk past a Starbucks. I'm like, my body just turns into the Starbucks. I wasn't even going for coffee. I needed to get a new pair of running shoes. And like I walked past the Starbucks and I was like, oh, we should get coffee while we're here. It's this ritual. You go in there. There's a lot of great books about what Howard Schultz created and the whole environment and stuff like that, and how he got us to go spend $10 on a coffee drink, right? But they're not selling coffee. Do they sell you coffee? Look at all their ads and all their other stuff like that. Are they pitching coffee? They're not pitching coffee. It's the ritual, it's the environment, it's everything else. Airbnb doesn't sell the homes or the rental or whatever else like that. It sells experiences, right? Look at what they're putting out there. It's the experience of where you can go. Spotify, right? They're not marketing music. It's moods, right? Think about the way they have their whole entire content set up, right? What mood are you in? It's selling that mood. Coca-Cola doesn't sell soda. It sells nostalgia, right? And IKEA doesn't sell furniture. It sells possibilities. So what are you selling? What are you selling? If you're focused on selling your services and the technical process of what you do that sets you apart, you want to rethink it, right? What actually sets you apart? Why will people want to work with you? I go through the core values exercise, and some of you have been doing that with me recently. And that is why people will follow you. That is your aura, right? It's what emanates out of you, and you can't stop it if you wanted to, right? And so that is why people will follow you. So how does that permeate everything you do and create an experience? You got to get into storytelling and make people feel and understand and see what it would be like to work with you. Think about that for this year as you're building your business, whatever you're doing, right? And as you build your strategy, put that out there, and that's build everything about that should be built into your brand. If you just pick the logo and pick the font and did whatever, but it doesn't tie in with who you are, how you do business, what the experience of working with you is like, right? The whole thing needs to tell a story. Everything that you have about your business needs to be cohesive, and it needs to resonate with who you are and what you do, right? They have to feel it, right? You can see it when you see all the things, when you get a sense, and you should do some studies, put together your logos and some of your marketing pieces and your fonts and all the other stuff like that, and put that together and print it out on a couple of sheets, or put it on a digital, whatever, create a Canva board on it. send it to some people in your sphere, some friends and family and that kind of stuff, and just say, hey, give me 5 words. When you look at this, give me 5 words or 3 words that pop out at you when you look at this. How does this make you feel? And then send it to as many people as you can, collect all your responses, and then do a little diagram with those words, right? To see which ones come out. There's actually some apps and some other things on there online that you can do where you throw them in there, and I'm drawing a blank on what those things are called, an Enneagram or whatever it is, but it shows like it shows all the words, and I have like the word that's most prominent will be the biggest, and then all the other ones are kind of all over it. Right. But it'll, if you know what I'm talking about, but you can do that if you want to, but that will give you a visual representation of how people see your brand when they look at it just from looking at your stuff. And if the word that you want of what the experience is isn't the key word and isn't any of the words, right, then I would rework it. That's my thought. All right. Cool deal. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second. Hello again. All right. So guys, I wanted to share that stuff with you, and I've got a bunch more we're going to go through, throughout the year, but everybody knows my personal focus is on growing this organization. We want to, our goal for Kristen and I, the reason we created FYR was to help, it's fund your reason, not fund our reason. Right. And so our goal, our whole mission, right, is to help you guys go out and build great lives and discover your reason and go fund it. So we want to bring to you the production information and everything else, but we're out building this organization. We want to make sure that we're pouring into you and giving you the tools, the resources, and information. So I'm out there gathering it all the time. I've stumbled through the industry for 25 years. Learned a few things along the way, and we want to share that with you. I've been blessed to be in relationship with a lot of really awesome people out there doing cool things. And learning from them constantly. So we're going to be continuing to bring that stuff back. I want us to be super efficient, and I want us to be really purposeful in what we do. So if you feel like you're out there kind of wandering through building your business, this is a time to get focused in on what you're doing, right? I'm like, I've tried a little of this, I tried a little of this, I don't really have a plan, I don't really have a whatever, I don't really have a direction. Let's work together on getting that direction in place. So you're being really purposeful, because you can amplify your results very quickly by doing that. Shaving off the miscellaneous extraneous stuff. It's good to do. It's good stuff. It's not bad, but get down to your core and the things that really will work for you. And it's going to be different for everyone. And let's double down on those things and get massive results this year. This is the time to start paddling, guys. So we want to help you out. We're going to stand behind and push your board a little bit. All right. So that being said, another thing that we do in this group, as we did this and we built this, we said, okay, I've been building brokerages for a long time, and it's like, all right, so what helps our agents succeed? And it's always having great partners. So I just always want to make sure everyone is aware of the fact that we have aligned ourselves with an incredible mortgage company, an incredible title company. They have become partners, and so you have an opportunity. We can do title services in all 50 states. Okay, so no matter where you are and what referrals you send and everything else, you can be aligned with our group. And what I can tell you is, through these people that we very, very carefully selected through relationships and processes and systems, I know a little bit about, making sure we're in business with good title companies, mortgage companies, and stuff like that. We've done that. So I know the service is top notch. The people are top notch. They're very experienced, and they're caring, and they do a phenomenal job. Obviously, for all of our own personal transactions, this is who we use as well. So we're customers, at the same time. But I encourage you guys to build relationships with them. They are there to answer your questions, even if you don't have something, you'd be like, hey, I've got another thing going on. Those clients chose the title company or the mortgage company, but here's what we're going through and here's what we're experiencing. What do you think? Can you take a look at this? Can you look at X, Y, and Z? You might have a client who's not buying or selling right now, but they have a question about something, right? And you need some feedback and stuff. So we have incredible resources to help us there. So I just want you guys to know that that's there, but they also do a lot of other things to give back, to provide opportunities. We have Thrive events which are our title company, our mortgage company, United Land Transfer, and United Home Loans, come together and sponsor these events and bring in top agents. They work with local fire agents in different markets to bring in other agents from other companies as well. And whether it's panels, speakers, all that kind of stuff like that. So we're going to be bringing in Sam Trimble, who is an incredible speaker. He's spoken at NAR. He's spoken at a bunch of other huge things. He's a well-known national, very respected speaker on a ton of topics, but he's also really fun. So we're flying him in from Texas to speak in Northern Virginia coming up in the spring. So we're excited about that. But we're going to be doing these Thrive events throughout all of our different markets and bringing that to you, bringing great education, also an opportunity for you guys to invite other agents and help build your revenue share additionally. So we're excited about that. And then on the mortgage side, we've created an opportunity, and Mike and Chris Rapucci, our partners for United Home Loans and the principals for United Home Loans have created a process whereby our agents can get licensed as loan officers, not so that you're out necessarily doing loans, but that allows you, once you're licensed, it allows you, as you send your clients through or you send referrals through who do refinance, to get paid as a loan officer, right? So if you're dealing with anybody on the buy side or you have any clients through there, you go through a very short process, right? You go through a really quick class. It's 20 hours, get your license in there. They'll walk you through the whole process and everything else. And once you have that, you can be paid for those mortgages. There's a couple of simple steps that you have to do to be able to be involved in that process, but it's really not more than I'm sure all of you are already doing with your clients. And then you're able to get paid on that. So, at a time where there's commission questions and all that other kind of stuff like that, right? The number of transactions has been down for some. And this is an opportunity to continue to earn more money. So incredible opportunity. We've put this together. And these guys have done a great job. So, Mike, I know we also have some of our group that have another set of our agents that have recently passed. So you want to give some shout outs to our recent folks?
I would love to, except my partner in crime is the one who has all the spreadsheets.
Oh, he's got the data. It's Kathy. It's Kathy and Jen.
Jen's right there.
So there is Jen. Jen, congratulations. That's absolutely fantastic. Nothing but big things ahead for you. And Dave, I want to just briefly talk today, right? Because I think one of the things that common themes that you talked about a few weeks ago was staying power and partnerships, right? And so I was looking up some data, and statistics are a wonderful thing, right? I mean, they can be bent in 1,000 different directions. In 2021, there was 420,000 licensed loan officers. So far for 2025, there are only 93,000 loan officers across the United States. All right. Now, again, I mean, some people are going to renew their licenses later on and so on and so forth, right? But going from 420 in 2021, 2024, there was 150,000. So far, only 93,000 have renewed their license. All right. So when we're talking about partnerships, you've got the real estate side, you've got the mortgage side of this business, you've got title. It's a matter of having people with the staying power, right? I mean, Ally Bank just announced they're closing down their entire mortgage division. We've been doing this for over 20 years. We've seen the best of it, we've seen the worst of it, right? And so you really want to partner with somebody who has a staying power, but it's also a matter of partnering with people who are adding something back to your business. And as an example, I mean, right now we are gearing up with a lot of realtors for first-time home buyer seminars, right? It's the beginning of the year. It's on a lot of individuals' checklists. I want to buy a home in 2025. And so a lot of people don't know where to start. And so we are in the process of setting our calendar for the next 6 months with all of our realtor partners to get out there and do these first-time home buyer seminars. And then also working with our realtor partners to revisit all their past pipelines, right? I mean, things change in the market, right? I mean, there's just legislation that just passed that says medical collections are going to be wiped away from everybody's credit reports. Now, medical collections can never be counted against you, right, in qualifying for a mortgage. But now that they're going to be gone, that also means that people are going to be getting a bump in their credit scores, right? So knowing that, and if you have a good understanding of what was in your pipeline in 2024 that never came to fruition, let's go back and look at those reasons why, right? Because it might be the difference between a 600 and a 620 credit score now. might be the difference between, having a 7.25% interest rate versus a 6.25% interest rate, where people are actually able to requalify and qualify for a much better terms. So we are reviewing realtors pipelines with them at this point because it's January. Everybody, although I didn't renew my gym membership, right? But it is of the same same mindset though, right? It's a new year. We're hitting the ground running. We've seen the benefits of doing this early in the year, and then just keeping it going, as we progress. So we set the plan, and again, Dave, to what you were saying, having somebody accountable, having that right partner on the mortgage side, it's, hey, listen, have you talked to so and so? It's been 3 months. Let's go revisit them because they needed about another 3 months worth of savings. So having this dual beast, right, go out there and tackle your entire pipeline, the benefits are just exponential.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it is a brokerage, mortgage brokerage, right? So access to so many programs, creative pricing, and it is commercial, it's residential, it's construction, it's development, it's all of the things. I know, Mike, you guys are working on a big development right now, right? It's going to go in and all of those things.
Yep.
So,
No, we got a big development that's opening up in here in Delaware. So that's it's going to be huge. But we do that piece of it. I mean, I actually was having a conversation. 2024, one of our realtor partners, really rough year. And he's like, it fell in his lap. It was a $700,000 purchase for a plot of land. And it was like, man, you know what? That got me through Christmas. That got me through the new year. I'm good for, a set period of time. And then for them not to have to go out and search for all these different lenders to try to help their buyers secure financing. It's a one-stop shop.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. So yeah, guys, definitely encourage you to check that out. And good news, we are growing rapidly in Virginia, which is great. We've got so many awesome agents coming on board in Virginia. And by roughly the end of January-ish, we should be fully licensed in Virginia. I believe we're a couple of weeks away. So we will be ready. We will be ready to roll. And so if you're in Virginia, you want to be talking about that, let us know. Connect with us, connect with Mike and Chris. But we'll be doing a lot of cool stuff in Virginia coming up. So
yep, Virginia's on the table for the next couple of weeks, and then North Carolina's coming up next.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, guys. So lots of opportunity. I encourage you to check that out if you're, first and foremost, just to have great partners, to support you in the business, help you, as Mike was mentioning, for whether it's first-time homebuyer seminars or anything else, just looking over, looking over numbers for your clients or for yourself, et cetera, just asking questions, working with them, getting an opportunity. And then if you're interested in going through the process to get your MLO license, and get additional money on the buy side and that kind of stuff, then hit us up as well. Happy to ask. We've got a bunch of people that have already gone through it. And it's a pretty easy process. So we are excited about that going on. Fire Fridays. You guys, how many of you are tuning in for Fire Fridays? Got some of you coming in there, right? I got a bunch of you that show up like clockwork. If you are interested, we're going to be adding in a bunch of production classes and a bunch of other stuff throughout the year, this year. So we're excited about some of those things going on. But if you are interested additionally in the revenue share opportunity, if that is something that is where you go, hey, I don't want to be dragged out toes up from my last open house. It's not how I want to go out. Right. So I want to build a life. I want to build a process. There's no 401k for independent contractors. So how do you build that balance? How do you build when the market fluctuates and goes up and down? If something happens personally, health-wise or anything else like that, how do you build that safety net? And so that's one of the great things about EXP with the stock and the revenue share is the opportunity to build that, whether it's, an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month, it's an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month, or you want to go for $30,000 a month or whatever, really it's as big as you want to build it, just like your real estate sales business. It's a leveraged opportunity that's open to everyone. And, I've talked to a lot of people, where they're retired, fixed income and everything else. And they're like, what a difference would be if I had an extra $2,000 a month coming in. Right. I mean, just something like that, because if you're on a fixed income, it's like, great, I worked hard at this, I set money aside, but now with inflation and now with, all these other things like that, it's impacting what I've got. I'm drawing off of my savings. Stock market's been down, yada, yada, yada. Right. They're looking at it and they go, hey, I can pay my living expenses, but what if I want to get a new car, and now that's a stressor for me. Right. Or, I can pay to live and do whatever, but I would love to be able to travel. Love to have some disposable income. And now I feel like I can't. I don't know how long I'm going to live and blah, blah, blah. So you have that in there. I shouldn't say that about blah, blah, blah about, but you know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things, if you have that in just even at that small amount, that is something we don't necessarily think about that. And the opportunity is for it to be much bigger than that for those that want to focus on that, but you don't have to do a ton to get to that point where it's $1,000 or $2,000 a month. You don't have to do a ton to get there. In this model, it's not that hard. It's very unlike any other program out there. So if you're interested in learning about that and hearing from people who have done it and hearing about the processes and the mindset and how it all works and that kind of stuff and what's happening out there, every Friday, other than the first Friday, it's me and typically someone that I'm interviewing who's out there doing cool stuff in this area. And we talk about agent attraction on the EXP platform, right? And we talk about, you're going to hear from different people, different personalities, different approaches, systems, backgrounds, and all that good stuff. And some of these people are going to resonate with you and you're like, man, I could do that. Right. So a lot of people want that opportunity. Like, hey, I would love to have $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 extra dollars a month coming in, but I just don't know how to do it. And I really don't want to spend a whole lot of time breaking away from my sales business and stuff to do X, Y, and Z. If you can get in there and learn a few things and then just make a few subtle changes to your business model and the things that you do, it's a great opportunity. So I encourage you guys to do that. It's every Friday, same time as this call. It's 10 to 11 every Friday. You tune in live. It's on our FYR calendar. Kristen does an amazing job keeping our FYR calendar up to date. Should have all of that stuff. Get tuned into Workplace. All right. Here's what we're going to do for this year. All right. Workplace is our tool. It's our communication tool. There's a FYR group. All of you have been added to the FYR group in Workplace. You can create additional groups. So if you do little mastermind groups, you can even mastermind. That's one of the great things. You can mastermind with agents from all over the country and all over the world. Great for referrals opportunities, building relationships. It's great for bouncing ideas off. You're like, hey, I hear you talk in the meetings and, and you're doing like this guy, I'm doing the similar kind of thing. Be great to, get to know you a little bit, jump in. You can create your own groups. You can do stuff like that. Use that tool, ask questions of each other inside there, get plugged in to all of those things, pop into all the different meetings, guys. I'm going to encourage you this year to be engaged. I promise you, the more that you are plugged in, the better your results will be. All right. Even if you're kind of a lone wolf kind of a person, like, hey, I'm not really a belonger. I'm not really, whatever. Okay. I promise you that if you show up and you plug in, okay, and contribute, you might go, hey, I'm not really learning anything. Awesome. Well, if you already have the information, then you should be sharing. All right. We have opportunities for you to teach. We have opportunities for you to speak. We have opportunities for all kinds of stuff. So if that's where you are, we're craving that. The group needs it from you, right? If you are learning and in listening mode and everything else, then get tuned in, get plugged in, build the relationships here, because you will, if you haven't, then I'm sure you have. But if you ever have the days where you wake up and you're just not feeling it, right? All right. And you're like, what am I doing? Then you've got a group of people that will pick you back up, brush the dust off, and get you back in the game, right? Shoulder to lean on, some support, some ideas, whatever it is. Okay. Sometimes you just want to get like, man, I just want to get back. I want to get in a group and be talking, get my juices flowing again, get that fire cranking, right? This is your group. So I encourage you guys to get really tied in here. Let us know what we can do to help you. Don't be afraid to ask. You got a bunch of people that not only can help you, but want to help you. We got a lot of great salespeople on this call, a lot of great leaders in this call, people with great experience in the industry. And so you have unlimited resources. So I encourage you to use them. It's a phenomenal group. And so as you get to know everybody, if you're newer, you'll realize this is a really great group of humans, man. Kristen and I are very blessed. We're like we talk about you guys all the time. So in case your ears are,
In a good way.
in case you're, yeah, in a good way. Except for Kyle. I'm just kidding, Kyle. Love you, man. All right, guys. Hey, does anybody have anything they want to share for the group before we go? Does anybody have any like good news or something exciting going on, or some kind of house they need us to know about, or anything else like that? What's up? Tell me something good.
I'm just excited. Like you said, 2025 is kicking off really, really well. There's a lot of momentum. I feel like we're rowing together and working together, and yeah, I'm excited for it.
Let's go.
This real quick.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I've got a good one. I had a great breakfast meeting this morning with a former Keller Williams managing broker, and he's from Northern Virginia. He's really excited about EXP, and you know, he said he reached out to Gene Frederick a couple of years ago and never heard back from Gene. So,
well, he'll end up in Gene's downline anyway.
that's right. Yeah. But good. It was a good meeting today.
That's great. I love it. I love it. Awesome.
Hey,
guys.
Dave. Hey, Dave,
Yeah.
real quick. So I just want to let everybody know. So we do have access to a tool that will show other people's production numbers. So if you want, right, you're talking to somebody and you want to see actually what their production numbers are. I mean, we do have a tool at our disposal. If that helps manage any conversations or thought processes, you know, obviously reach out to Dave and Dave can get you in touch with us as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, if you're going to meet with someone, you know, or you see someone out there and you're like, man, I wonder, you know, how much they do, right? We can pull up some of the stats and you can know that, and you can reach out to them and be like, hey, I've been seeing you've been killing it, or you know, hey, it looks like your business is down. How are you doing? Right. So there's some things that you can do to help you, you know, to figure out what group you're looking for. You have that targeted group if you're looking to talk to agents on that. All right, guys. Hey, let's go have an awesome year. Please let us know what we can do to help you. I just encourage you to start paddling. All right, let's go have some fun. Be really purposeful about it. And remember, stay focused on your core business, stay consistent, and you know, make sure you've got stuff in there for self-care, right? Make sure you're you know, family and health and all that kind of stuff. Build that into your time block that stuff, so you have a well-rounded, successful year ahead of you. All right, y'all. Let's go do it.